I mean, you know.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Okay, okay. So you on, man.
Okay, wait a minute. You gonna talk? You gonna do the
Wow,
introduction?
I'm tripping. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Hate Africa, the talk show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find his way on a ship to America. I'm your host, the Indigenous one, and tonight, to get into the thought patterns on what we get, how we think, how we how we fight our way through this life, things we have to know, things they put out that that so-called affects us. Do we have any say so in it? And tonight we're going to look at this House Resolution 40. We got Rick Moon. He's going to break it all down. And we're going to look at this reparations, all this talk about reparations, and also restitution. What's the difference between reparations and restitution? And, we love some feedback from you guys because the feedback we get from our crowd, and everybody tells me, wow, the crowd, the people that are listening, they like, damn. And we know the people who are listening that don't make a sound. We hope you take this information and use it to make your life and the lives around you better. Joining me as always is my compadre, Rick Moon. What's going on, homie?
Hey, and then hey, America, how y'all doing out there? And when I say hello, America, I mean all indigenous life in America, to include the people. So, as a matter of fact, if you were with us when we went over that House Resolution 142, I stated that the word American is actually referring to the Europeans that run this so-called United States. Whenever you hear of American, that's why you hear me say "Welcome America," because I'm talking about all indigenous life, including the people, because all of us are parts of nature. All of us are connected to nature. But anyway, wanted to talk a little bit about this HR 40, and excuse me, but I kind of changed this on the fly. I was just gonna do it on just the HR 40, but I don't know how many people that's out there listening now listened to us the last time when we did HR 142, but a lot of stuff that I'm going to say is you probably heard in the last time we did it. So I'm gonna try not to spend too much time into that. And I
Well,
want
let me ask you a question, Rick.
go ahead.
So, with all of these HR 40, blah blah blah, what is the main reason? Because these people have been knowing this stuff for a long time. What do you think that all this talk is doing?
I think it's just something that keep something going. As a matter of fact, it's become a real basis for this so-called presidential race. That's the big talk. So I think this reparations talk, is just to stir up something, just stir up and make people talk and start stuff. That's basically what I think it is anyway.
So check this out. Duran at home says, please don't bash ADOS. They are slowly waking up and understanding the stark difference between us and African. I urge everybody to not ostracize yourself. So does that have anything to do with it? Because there's nobody I know that can point to themselves that's saying they were a slave. That's what I'm saying. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree with you. Most of us can't prove that. So, as a matter of fact, I mean, I'm sorry, but whoever that was, I'm sorry, but you hadn't been bringing up ADOS, and so we might not have said anything about it. But now that you brought it up, Yeah, it's a bunch of garbage. Yes, it is a bunch of garbage, and most of us can't prove this stuff. And I'm gonna discuss that anyway. That before you're gonna get any kind of anything, you're gonna have to be able to prove that your descendants come from slavery. How about that?
So, okay, so if that's not proven, what's the outcome? What's the repercussions of that? Because to me, it seems like a setup. Something doesn't seem right about it. Something seems sinister about like it's always done.
What you mean?
It just seems sinister. This whole reparations thing.
Okay,
What?
check this out. Check this out. Okay, the name of this bill, the name of this act is the Commission to Study and Develop Reparation Proposals for African Americans Act is in the title.
Wait a minute. Say that one more time.
Commission to Study and Develop Reparation Proposals for African Americans Act.
That's all it is.
Yeah. So you got all this reparations talk. Everybody send me my check, and all it is a commemorate to study and develop proposals to talk about reparations. That's what this whole thing is about, and it's got everybody's attention. Got everybody talk. I mean, I've seen different posts on this, and everybody talking about where my check. They ain't talking about getting no check, getting you no check. They talking about, are we gonna talk about getting y'all a check?
So that's what I mean, man. It's always some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I mean. What you saying? It's not everybody's talking about this get paid. Danny Glover was up there looking wow, wow, and these cats up there babbling about stuff they don't even know about. Embarrassing,
and,
embarrassing.
and what's that clown name? Takashi Coates or whatever?
What? Huh?
What's that dude named Takashi Coates or whatever? That the first guy that talked when doing when they had that hearing.
He's like a
He
playwright or
talked
something.
before because Danny Glover was second, so he talked before Danny Glover.
I've seen a picture of him talking. I didn't hear anything he said.
Yeah, but I'm sure he wrote a couple of books. I know somebody in the chat probably know the books and stuff that he wrote. But but a little extra information on this clown, he's married to a European alien chick. So
yeah, man. I know it's and this is to the people who are listening. And this is how I see it. These people came and took your land, and they're like, "What you gonna do about it?" That's the line in the sand right there. We can talk about I'm indigenous, I'm Cherokee, I'm Blackfoot. It don't matter. This motherfucker's over here taking your land, fucking your women, fucking your sons, and you ain't doing a goddamn thing about it but wearing some feathers in your head. We need to reevaluate our disposition.
correct.
Okay, Rick, go ahead, man.
Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this kind of brief, but it's a couple of things in here that I want to point out, and but like I said, if you were listening to the show that we did on HR 142, you're gonna hear some of the same stuff. This bill is actually a whole lot longer though, and that's why I don't want to spend too much time on it. But I just want to go across some of the points that they made. Okay, HR 40 is, this is what it is. It's to address fundamental injustice, cruelty, brutality, and inhumanity of slavery in the United States and the 13 American colonies between 1619 and 1865, and to establish commission to study and consider a national apology and proposal for reparations for the institution of slavery, its subsequent de jure and de facto, dang, I can't read my own writing, and commerce, discrimination against African Americans, and the impact of these forces on living African Americans, to make recommendation to the Congress for appropriate remedies and for other purposes, being enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America, Congress assembled. Okay. Couple of words in this part that I wanted to talk about, like the word address. Address, that means to like to have a talk, right? I mean, that's what I thought it was, you know. So I don't know if that's really talking about what they're gonna do for you when you get when they give out reparation, you know. And then it goes on, you know, to talk about slavery in the United States and the 13 American colonies between 1619 and 1865. As a matter of fact, wasn't Charlene Brown just here? But
I'm sorry, say that again.
wasn't Charlene Brown just here?
I don't know. I didn't see her.
I thought she came in because I want to confirm something for me because I don't want to be wrong. Yeah, but
no,
anyway,
but go ahead.
yeah, but anyway, it's talking about slavery in the United States and the 13 American colonies. Remember what I told y'all about that word, what that word American means? It means the European and not you. So it's in their colonies between 1619 and 1865. And just like in the last show, those dates again, 1619, 1865. And what I wanted to confirm with her, Charlene, was African slavery, and you might know too, but African slavery, I mean, Africans coming over here, that didn't start until after 1865. Am I correct?
Way after.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You know.
See, I think one of the things where we get twisted up at, and you know, we don't really look at it, is that you had different nationalities coming across these lands. So if the Spanish said something and meant something, and they identified something and defined something, and it's been that way for years, and then the English come in and do the same thing, it's gonna confuse the indigenous people of that land. You know what I'm saying? Because one colonizer called it one thing, and another colonizer called it something else.
Right.
And I think that's where we get twisted up a lot on that shit by thinking these definition or these foreign words are our words. Something that we came up with ourselves. I mean, the Negro was very astute being a jigaboo. We love to act like this is our language. And half the time when we're talking, that's why it's so much confusion, because we don't know what we be talking about, because we always trying to lie. and bullshit each other, and it makes it more confusing. And these
Right.
motherfuckers doing this shit. The shit ain't cool, y'all. You know, just to get over on each other, and you seeing the whole world is on this motherfucker kicking your ass, and you tripping. We don't have time for that. And motherfuckers just act like it's the, that's the thing to do. So that's what I mean. Those people are callers to me. Those people are the people who are outside trying to destroy us. And we have a whole bunch of niggas trying to destroy us. So
Right.
remember, a lot of time in our history, we we did it to ourselves. And now is not the time to be like that because the whole world is over here trying to get your shit. Oh, sorry, Ray.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Like, hey, if you stop me, I love hearing somebody else talk because sometimes I get tired of hearing myself talk. But another thing. Here's another thing. Is to establish a commission to study and consider
Damn.
a national apology and proposal for reparations for the institution of slavery.
A national apology.
Yeah, to study and consider a national apology, not
This is the kind of bullshit that I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about, dude. This is the kind of bullshit. This is some old Negro stuff. Think you getting something, but what Malcolm say, you think you ain't going nowhere. And this is the kind of shit that's still being played. This is what your great actors do, for real. We always made a fool out of. Always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so they gon' consider giving you an apology. That's cold.
Yeah.
That's that's what I'm saying, man. We some clowns, cuz dude, really?
Right. And see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I try to say, you gotta really read this stuff, and we gotta know what they're saying in these words, know what these words mean and stuff. As a matter of fact, we'll get into that more because we we actually gotta change our whole language. I mean, we got to know we got to know what these words mean and how they're being used. What they teach you in the school and what they're actually practicing can be in entirely different things. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. It is. I mean, that's how we know. That's how we look at things anyway. We don't look at things how they are. We look at things on how they tell us they are, right or
Right,
wrong.
right. And see, that's what it is. So that's like I give you an example. I give you an example. The Bible. I look at the Bible, I can see it, I can read it as a law book because it's a lot of law in the Bible, and a lot of the laws come from the Bible that they have today.
But it
I can
also
look at
tells you. But it also tells you can fuck your children too.
right,
Eh, eh.
right,
I mean, okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it may have all that law in there. It may tell you to put your shoes on the right feet and
mhm,
all that other
yeah.
bullshit.
And I was gonna say that too. You can look at it for what it is. I
Yeah,
mean, it practically says that you can do that.
right.
So you can look at, but another thing about the Bible is also is an astrological book, a lot of astrology, a lot of superstition.
Is that why we twisted up now? Is that why we can't see right? Yeah.
So some of us,
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I understand. So you take a people who are earth people. So you take a people, they connected themselves with the trees. They connected themselves with the mountains and the rivers and the streams. People are telling me that their father used to go fishing with his bare hands.
Mhm.
And when she asked her father, "How did you learn to do that?" He just said it was instinctive.
Mhm.
These are the stories we got to share with each other.
Right.
These are the stories we got to know. These are the stories you got to ask your grandmama. These are the stories you got to ask your uncle. These are the stories and I know we got a lot of fucked up people in our family. But damn that, pay the dude $1 to talk about the family, something. But find out the information about your people here, because most of the people who they call African American, they are the Indigenous Americans. They just make you think you something else, and you go for it. They make you think you
Right.
black. They make you think you colored. They make you think you African American. They make you think you nigga. They come on, y'all. Go
As a
ahead, Rick.
matter of fact, that's the next thing I was gonna say. You got racial and economic discrimination against African Americans and the impact of these forces on living African Americans to make recommendations to the Congress or appropriate remedies and for other purposes. Y'all remember, I know the people who heard last time know the other purposes. I mean, it's the same thing, whatever they want to do. That's basically what it means. But what I want to also harp on was, and Charlene, I know you there. Speak up, babe. Hello? She
Go
came back.
ahead, man.
I thought she was there. Oh, my fault. But anyway, aren't the first aren't the first Africans were Europeans? Weren't they like European people?
Hey, it's their word.
Right.
It's their
Because you're
term.
right, it came from them.
Right.
Right.
So this is what I'm saying. We keep getting keep getting tricked off of what they say. We go by what they say. If they don't say it, then it didn't exist.
Right. Right. And
This is
see,
this is, this is how the average Negro goes about his day. If boss ain't say it happened, it didn't happen.
right. So that's why I say this is this even and I expect this probably gonna pass. Because like I say, all it is a discussion. So
Yeah,
it might even pass. But
yeah.
even if they do decide later on, and we don't know when, to give reparations, like I said earlier, you're gonna have to prove that. And we just don't, a lot of us, most of us can't prove that we came from slavery. And like we said earlier, African, that's a European word. The first Africans were them. So they actually would be the ones that could benefit off of this. When you think a buck.
Yeah. They listen. The African American, as they go into everything, as going in as beggars. You gotta give us something, nigga. We ain't gotta give you shit. That's why they have you. That's why they word it like that. Considering giving you something, they're not giving you anything. You're gonna have to organize yourselves in a way to get it. Period.
Right.
They're organized in a way to take it from you. They're organized in a way to keep you stupid. They're organized in a way to keep you begging from them. How come you can't reorganize yourself? Now won't let him. He no, we no Mal no. And we got that attitude.
Right.
That's the attitude of the Negro.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, we
ma'am.
hear you loud and clear. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing fine,
We
love. How are
wonderful.
you?
How about you?
Everything is good here. You know, let me ask you. I'm not for sure, but isn't the people who they're describing as the Africans who came here, I think in the 1619s, um, is that what it's saying, Rick? That that the descendants of those people are eligible for reparations?
Yes, that's who they writing this law for. And
Okay.
that's why I wanted to ask you that the Africans didn't exactly started coming out here to after 1865. I thought.
Uh, I thought later. The
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
me doing my own research, aside from anybody else's research, the earliest I could find the Africans coming here was in 1902.
Wow, I was thinking like the 1870s.
No,
Wow.
I'm saying from my own research.
Okay.
Could
Hey,
could you give us an example of what you found?
Remember that it was the St. Louis World Fair. Wasn't that in 1902?
Yes,
the
something like
what?
that. The World
The
Fair.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Where they brought people from all over the world and had them on displays like animals.
Yeah, I mean they do that all the time. Yeah,
Okay, that's the earliest that I was able to track Africans as being here. What people from over there on that mass over there called Africa.
Yeah. What's the real name? Acabulon?
A
Acabulon.
Cabula, yeah. Because
Yeah.
remember, back in the 1600s, the 1619s, when they said that they brought those Africans here, um,
the
uh,
world
uh,
the World's Fair was in
St.
1904,
Louis.
April of
Not-
1904,
That's close
Okay,
St.
enough.
Louis.
right. That's the
Okay,
earliest that I've been able to find that they were here.
right,
Wow.
Okay.
and that would and that would
When
make
I
sense
was,
too.
Mm-hmm. Hey, would that have something to do with Sarah Bartman too?
I'm not for sure. I have not
No,
researched that, so I don't
no, I don't
know.
think so. I think that
And
that was
that's
that was
another
that
show
was
anyway. I'm just huh?
Okay, so what I was saying was that in the 1619, West Africa wasn't even under the umbrella of of being Africa.
True.
And I have something which I was looking for. That's why it took me a minute to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Remember I had posted something about the Virginia colonists in 1619.
yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, let me just pull it up. And I'm sorry.
It's
No.
Okay,
okay.
during this time here, the Virginians of 1619 were desperate for labor to grow enough food to stay alive. Among them were survivors from the winter of 1609 through 1610, called the starving time, when crazed for want of food, they roamed the woods for nuts and berries. Now, these are the colonists, dug
Mm-hmm.
up graves to eat the corpses, and died in batches until 500 colonists were reduced to 60. Okay, now you're going to go to Africa, or you're going to send Africans to come that do not know anything about the food, the grounds, the environment to come and save your colony?
Right.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. This is, oh man. Go ahead. Go ahead, Charlene. I'm sorry. Oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay. Now, did you all know that it was originally, if I'm not mistaken, it was John Wall. I haven't, I tried to look it up. I can't, I gotta go into my stash. But John Wall was the one who originally said 20 or so Negroes. It was not Africans.
Right. Right.
So it has been changed to Africans. At what time, I do not know. But John Wall sent a letter back to Europe saying there were, they brought in 20 or something Negroes. Now, I was told that it was, I can't get my hand on the letter, but I was told it was 20 or something Negras. Now, if the original term that he used was Negras, those were the females from Central America.
Yeah, I can go for that because I mean, slavery was basically females anyway. So that makes a whole bunch of sense.
Yeah, it does.
And remember, traveling traveling on this continent was nothing new.
Right.
True.
So if the original term is, I'm looking for the letter. I've been trying to find the letter. The original letter, if it's Negroes, it would be a female from this continent who were brought in as the slaves.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So let me ask a question.
And I'm not even sure it was slaves, or it just evolved into the writing of these 20 or so people being slaves when the original writing did not say slaves.
Right.
Let me ask a question, Rick. As far as the slavery thing goes, would you consider us, or the African American, the Black people, the Negro, blah blah, whatever you want to call it, the indigenous people here in North America, would you consider them slaves today?
Of course. I would consider them slaves today. I mean, especially when you talk about stuff like the prison system, you know, and if we might not think we're slaves, but we are, because every time somebody say jump, we say how high or how far.
We're certainly dependent people.
Right.
And I just want to say one thing. If that act that you're talking about, that you guys are talking about reparations from those 20 or so Negroes, African Americans, how the heck are 30, 40, 60 million people descended of the 20 people?
Yeah.
Right.
And I was talking to Ambassador one day, and she pointed it out. She said 20 people. 20 people. So I'm like, you, Carrie, that's some bullshit there. 20 people, and you're going to get each and every one of us, everybody who grandmamas were called Negroes, come from the descendant of those doggone 20 people. We got to be, I mean, damn, man, this is embarrassing.
I mean,
you laughing to keep from crying, right?
No, I am, because it's like really, it's like you can tell the Negro anything. He will not use his brain. He won't read. I mean, if you read they stuff, you can tell they flaws right in it. These people are writing shit from the check this out. These people are writing shit from the 1600s. Negroes still can't figure it out to this day, 300 years later. We still fall off their words. We still, whatever they say, that's how it is. We still argue that instead of looking at nature and looking at, our experience, our history, our experiences. We don't even look at those.
Right.
We turn our backs on those and listen to what everybody else says. It's where
Right.
we are. This is the reality. So yeah, I mean, oh my God. And I'm like you, Charlene. It's embarrassing because I know other people come from other lands. I know people coming over here from other nations and seeing us and go, God damn. I know they are. And we just so we can be stupid if we want to. We're like that. I mean, dude. So now you said you wanted to talk about the reparations and the restitution.
Yeah, let me go over a few more things real quick before we get to that,
Okay.
because I want to talk about. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you what, because I know we're gonna be pressing for time. But if anybody, if the people in the chat room want us to just, I could just come back and just do a show just talking about this law. But I just think that the reparations, to talk about the reparations and all that stuff, is more important than actually this. But but if they, if I can just say a couple of more things too. But if they want me to just go over the whole law, we could do that for another show. The people in the chat don't mind, and we can just get into the reparations part, because I know we've been going for, I know it's probably close to an hour now.
Right.
Yeah.
So go on, go on with it, brother.
Okay. So what are they saying in the chat? Because
Somebody is saying, hell yeah, we slaves. It's illegal to collect rainwater. Not on your own earth. It's not illegal to collect rainwater.
That's right. That's right.
And so that's what I mean. We take other people's words and we hold on to them like they can tell you what to do. See, if I came and tell you to do something, you would tell me to go fuck myself. But somebody writes some law on some paper and you take it like for real. And this is what I
No,
mean. We gotta have, and this is what I mean. We gotta have a code, y'all.
Right.
Damn.
Right.
These
So
people can just say boo and we jump.
yeah. Hey, but anyway, I'm sorry to all the folks out there. I told you that I kind of did this on the fly, but because I just think that the talk about the reparation stuff is just more important, and I can come back and do on this law, because it's pretty long anyway, and it's a lot of stuff that I wanted to cover in it that it'll take a little time. So to get into the reparations part of this conversation, I looked up different two different definitions of reparations, and one I got from the which I thought was interesting. I got from the Wikipedia, and heck, I didn't even write down where I got the other one from. My non-thinking self. But anyway, reparations is the making of amends for awarding or awarding one that has been done by payment of money to otherwise helping those who have been wrong, And it comes from the Latin reparare, which means make ready again. So, I'll talk about, and I'm gonna talk about the difference between that and restitution too. But I found a very interesting thing in Wikipedia of what they say about reparation, and it says reparations for slavery is the idea that some form of compensatory payment needs to be made to the descendants of Africans trafficked to and enslaved as part of the Atlantic slave trade. The American, including the Caribbeans, the Americas, including the Caribbean, and also the African governments from which the countries were they to taken have said to be owed reparations. So it's just I checked out that Wikipedia definition, and it sounds like they think it's a joke. And that's what I thought it was kind of messed up. But anyway, as far as and I'm gonna tell you what restitution is, and then we'll start talking about both. Okay, restitution is the restoration of something lost or stolen to its proper owner. So here's what I get out of this. Reparations, and to put it in simple terms, means to repair, like fix something. Like if you example, if your tire go flat, you just go, you just, instead of you getting a new tire, you just decide to just plug it. Plug it and hope that you don't have that problem for a while. But restitution, as far as restitution, that means that you have to give it back. Just give it totally back. And that's one of the reasons why I say the restitution, because we're not owed reparations. Like we was just saying, Africans are owed that. We're not Africans. If they're going, that's what this law is about anyway, about giving Africans reparations and not us. So being that this is our original home, our homeland, we supposed to be getting restitution instead of some reparations. Anybody want to say something, add something to that, Buck?
This is how I am. I don't think nobody should be dictating what you should get. And this is what I'm saying. And this is what a lot of people have said before this. This is something that we're going to have to work on ourselves. These people just are not going to walk up and hand you something on a silver platter.
Oh, I understand that. I understand that.
Okay. That's the mental mind fuck that we keep going around in. We're going to have to organize ourselves to be a viable people on this planet, to leave the shit that was stolen, that our grandparents left us, that we're supposed to hand down to our children. Now, what are we going to do about that shit? See, that's all that matters. All this playing around and letting them dictate what they're going to give you, I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get it.
Right, and see, that's what I'm saying. Everybody and all you got to do is say the word, and we just jump at it. Like I said, this thing is just over discussing reparations. Not everybody's like I said earlier, everybody now they waiting for their check.
They ain't gonna get it. They won't get it. They're not gonna get it.
Could you explain why? Could you explain why, Charlene?
Our ancestors wanted to join this system. They can't no handful of people come from nowhere and beat nobody's ass on their own land. Are you kidding me? A one-shot damn gun? Come on.
Right. And then
our ancestors wanted this. You know, they got Khan. They got I mean, come on. This is patriarchal and this new system.
Right.
I mean, no, ain't nobody come here and beat nobody and do all this stuff that we've seen on Roots and all these other channels and movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know that's why I tell people you gotta look at things in like how it was. I mean, you look at those old movies, those old war movies, and you see these guys with these one-shot rifles. They shoot it, then they gotta pack it, repack it, load it, repack it, and get off one shot again. Now, my question: how many arrows you think I can get off while this knucklehead sitting here packing his gun?
Exactly. Especially arrows that could go through trees.
Right.
Before they get off the ships, you could get them. Come on, man.
Right.
Afrocentrics, they've been lying to us.
Mm-hmm. And see that's what it is. See, that's what it is. People got to realize that just because they taught you this in school don't mean that they're practicing this. They're not practicing. They teaching you one way, but they practicing something else. That's why you got all these. That's why you look up all these words, like black, for instance. Black means one thing to us, but it means something entirely different to the powers that be. Something entirely different, and we got to start understanding those differences. You know, and that's like this reparations stuff. Reparations means to repair. It means to put a Band-Aid on it. Now, I agree with you, Buck, when you saying that we got to go out and get it, because we do, because we already basically we haven't lost it, but we think we have. We think we've lost it, and yeah, it's gonna take us. We're gonna take it back. I mean, and these the same people who took it from you. Why would you be asking them to give you something back anyway, when they the one that took it from you? And that was their plan. You know, that was their plan to get to you.
And we act like, and just our willful ignorance, just because we think we have the right to do what we want to do. I run into Negroes all the time that say the dumbest shit, and I'm like, are you serious? And those people are normally coddled and taken to the people's arms and rocked to sleep. Dude, you are on your job. The people who are in what you call the United States, I call it Central North America. North America is up there in Canada. We Central, Mexico and the Guatemala, Honduras, all that. That's Central America. Then you have South America. Then you have the Caribbean. We're in the central part of America, the north central part. Our job is to help keep this earth in balance. First.
Right.
That's our first job. It ain't going to get no goddamn Nikes. It ain't to watch the damn football game. It's not going to get a new weave. It's to do that. Our job is to keep this planet in cosmic balance. That's first and foremost. I don't care if you don't know, if you don't believe. I don't care about all that. That's the job of the humans here first. Whatever you get from that or whatever you build from that, that's for you to enjoy. But you can't enjoy it because somebody came over here and said, ain't yours no more, nigga, it's mine. What you gonna do about it?
And then got your people to fight you with them.
Right. So it's like what Charlene is saying. We wanted to join them.
Let me let me read something real quick. Okay, in 1688 and 1763 represented colonial events related to European dynastic wars. The superpowers in Europe, including Great Britain, France, and Spain, fought in Europe and North America to expand their empires. The wars in Europe that spilled over into the claims for land in North America in 1688 through 1763, the French and Indian Wars between France and Great Britain for land in North America included the Iroquois Indians were allied to the British, and the Algonquin-speaking tribes were allied to the French. So basically what I just read there is that how two Indian peoples, indigenous people, went to war with Great Britain against the French.
Yeah, they did. It's the Iroquois, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, and to relate that.
Hang on, Rick. Now, what did they get in exchange for fighting one another? What did the France and Great Britain promise or gave the indigenous people the illusion that they were going to gain for their participation in fighting other peoples, indigenous peoples here?
What did they say they were going to get?
I mean, what was in exchange for them fighting, joining the France?
The same thing what the homeless veterans get today. That's your whole purpose. We're not trying to take care of you. We're trying to rid the planet of your nigga ass. So we want you to go over there, and that's what the Buffalo Soldiers are about. This is what you do. You go kill those niggas over there so we can have that land.
And the resources on that land.
Right.
And the trades that those people had, their ancestral trade that they had before we got here.
Right.
Now we could control that.
Right. And we'll give you a couple of weapons, just enough. Not
and
enough
women. And our women.
Yep. So because those are gonna be the Native Americans, and we about to pimp you niggas and make you idiots fight with each other. And that's what's happening. So I mean, this is not hard. You don't even have to look back far, because what Charlene was saying, what did those people get who fought against the French and fought against the British? Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't look at them as French and British. They're all the same people to me. They're invaders. I don't care what color flag they have on, what color gloves. That shit don't matter to me.
Right.
They are over here to decimate what my people build. And what gets me is most of us is like Charlene said, we cool with it. You will shoot me down in defense of them. You will help, like she was saying, the brothers that helped the British. You know they were given some things. You know they were given some high up things. They had to keep an eye out on the rest of the people. You know they were given things. They were given high titles. So, but Rick, you were saying about the reparations and the reparations and the restitution.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do. I was just gonna kind of relate it to what we were just talking about. About how they run these games on us, and
Right.
that's the same thing with this reparation. They giving you an illusion. They're giving you an illusion, just like they did with all this slavery stuff. They just gave you an illusion. That ain't really what happened. And we're so quick to just jump on something, and we really don't care who said it. We don't care. Like I said, you know, this and this same. Oh yeah, and about this HR 40, this same referendum been because it was the original was in 1989. So it's been 30 years that this same HR 40 been brought to Congress. It started with John Conyers. He was putting it in for every year, and they kept on pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. And now that he's out of office, now we got what's this lady, Sheila Jackson Lee. Now she's taking over it. Oh, and another thing about the HR 40, your whole Black caucus voted for it too. So your whole Black caucus is giving you a chance. It's telling you that we gonna talk about it.
This is where you are. They're talking about what they're going to do to you. Other people, see the Korean, see they didn't talk about what they were going to give the Koreans after that war. They told the Koreans, listen, we'll come over here and let you make money off these monkeys. Because they're dumb, they won't. They will. We will make them think their hair is so ugly that we will create a market. We will create $1 billion market for you because we will teach these people that they aren't even themselves, and it works like a charm. Do you think sisters pay more money for hair buying it from a Korean, or do they pay each other the amount to do their hair? Where do you think that energy flow goes? Because
Oh,
yeah,
hey,
yeah, listen,
Koreans living awful good.
they live. You don't see them out there homeless because
uh-uh.
you make that possible. But you got an attitude. You mad at me for bringing it up?
Oh, and another thing about that book, since you brought up the Koreans, remember we was out in LA? What was the Koreans doing at night? When they renting the schools and teaching
Yeah.
their children?
Yep. 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 We try our damnedest to make sure our children are the dumbest people on the planet. Because
You damn right.
because if we ain't got this school thing yet, damn, how long we gonna watch? You about to have this back to school shit come up? Really, y'all? They didn't teach you nothing. They didn't teach your mama nothing. They didn't teach your grandmama nothing. You think they're gonna finally teach you? Are you that dumb? Yeah.
But Carrie, here's the thing that I look at. The elders need the children to be dumb. Then the children won't ask the elders, what in the hell were you doing back in your day? Why didn't
Right.
you stand up? Why didn't you protect us? Why did, they got questions. So
Right.
in order for the kids not to point fingers at us, how the hell did you fuck off so badly? We rather keep them dumb.
Right. Yeah. I see that. I can see that. I see that. I see that's a reason for to keep them dumb because it's like yeah, I talk to a lot of older people. I'm like, you cannot. There's no way you should be like this. And they're the most Christian type people. They talk about the Lord and all this. They're the Lord's wingman, and it's like their actions are total opposite of what they talk about. And
Mhm.
mad when you bring it up. So I can see where you said that's what they want to do. They want to keep the kids dumb, so they won't ask no questions. Because I ask questions.
Right,
I ask
right.
questions. Ask the elders questions. Ask them because they know they knew some stuff. They just didn't say anything. They wanted to become a part of the United States Corporation. That's what happened. That's where we are now. You're part of the United States Corporation, and the United States Corporation is changing. It can't be the same. It can't be the same industrial power that it was because that age is past, and we passed with it.
Right.
We're not thinking what they had in the industrial age for us. Other companies are hiring other people from other places to work cheaper than what they would pay you.
Exactly.
They paying these people cheaper than what they paid your parents. And
Yes.
these people are living together, 20 to a house, and making it work and making money off of you. Because contrary to what people say, you are the majority of people. There's no place on the planet you go where the indigenous people are the minority. How in the hell you think all these people can make money off of you? Everybody's over here making money off of you, and you the minority. I'm dead. I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That and see that goes to show you how powerful words are. A minority is a person that can't take care of themselves, that needs someone else to show them the way. That's what a minority is. But we sitting here, and that's how they see it. But we see it as we like the least amount. You know, that's the way we look at Memorial. Like we outgunned. When, like Buck said, we nowhere in the world are the indigenous people minorities. And see, that's another example that we gotta know how these words go, how they're being used, because even the same word could be used in a different way in another sentence than it was in the one before it.
I want to say something. I want to bring up something that you said, and this will bring some stuff home. And I hope that we can see it because this is a reality. So what Rick was just saying, what what word may mean something to you, it may mean something to somebody else. Let's take this term black. Now, we are all in calling ourselves black. We're into this black thing, but we have to remember that black is something that has to be moved. You can't anything that's black, it can't move on its own. It's not animated. You have to move it. Like some black pants, you have to put them on. You have to manipulate those. You never seen a person that was black. Never. If you did, you would faint probably because there are no black people. But we have it in our mind. That's what we are. And this is what we mean by brain, how you can be mind brainwashed. Somebody can tell you something. It won't even be what they just telling you. And you won't, since you don't have time to think, since you don't believe that your brain work, you won't even think about what they said. You will just believe it because they said it. This is how most African Americans get around the world today. Not at least 95%. Most African Americans, they don't fuck thinking. They're not into thinking. They're not into looking at the planet and their place on the planet and what they're supposed to be doing. They're waiting for somebody else to come tell them what to do, right or wrong. Right. This is
Check.
how the African American gets down. We don't believe in thinking. My head hurt if I think. Whatever somebody tells us that what we believe. That's why we're in the position that we're in now. So listen, I'm gonna give it back to you, Rick. Uh, in 2 days is the new moon. Then this is one of the things we have to get into is nature. How is it that all these nations coming over here, they have their own calendar? The Chinese don't look at the same. They don't look at time the same way as the English do. The English don't look at the time the same way the people in India do. The people in the Muslim world don't look at the same time the same way as China do. All those people have their different calendars. How come you don't have yours? Why are you always taking somebody else's time and trying to calibrate your life by what they say? So slavery then, slavery's now. So, I don't know what we talking about. We're slaves right now and know it and proud of it.
Yeah.
You don't feed yourself. You don't educate your children. You don't have no control of no resources. Matter of fact, if a brother try to get control of the resources, they'll send another nigga in there to kill him. This is where we are.
And that what Buck just said is what makes you a minority. Depending on somebody else to do for you.
Right. That's what a minority is.
So I know we kind of got off subject there a little bit, but that's why I was trying to relate all that back to the reparations and all that stuff, because like I said earlier, I think eventually, I would not be surprised if this did pass, because all it is a discussion. So so I wouldn't be surprised if it passed. And like I said, it is also being used as a political point, because that's what all of these so-called candidates are talking about right now. Should we get reparations or not? So Buck, we might need to close because I'm running out of juice here.
Okay.
But anyway, but I did want to ask, if y'all want me to explain this law, please say it in the chat room, because it's pretty long too, and that was another reason why I kind of cut it short. But if anybody want me to go through it, I will.
No, you're just gonna have to do it anyway, because some people maybe people want information, man. So if you got the information, please come back on.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, so I guess we can close, but and before I close, I did want to say we gotta, and we said it, Carrie said a couple of things about it earlier, and Charlene. We gotta go back to nature, y'all. We have to. Being indigenous is not a title. Just because you're indigenous don't mean that it stops there. You have to be indigenous. You have to everything. You have to return to nature, because that's the only way you're going to turn this thing around. That's the only way. You got to go. We got to get our powers back. And let me give you an example. If you ever saw that movie, Rabbit Proof Fence, there's a scene in that movie where there's a white European alien pulls out a shotgun on one of the sisters. All the sister did was just throw some kind of look on this dude. This dude was afraid to shoot her. As a matter of fact, he was backing up, and he's the one with the shotgun pointed right in her face. That's the kind of powers we had. We had those type powers. We got to be, and that's how we're gonna defeat them. We have to return to our ways. We have to win this thing our way, like we did in the past. But see, one mistake that we made is we're naturally a nice people, and we were nice to other people, and we let them in when we shouldn't have. We totally disregarded the laws of nature. That's what happened to Egypt. That's why Egypt is no more. And the same thing, we're headed for the same fate. That's why I say you just can't be happy that you're indigenous. You have to play the part. We gotta start, and for the males, we gotta start building, brothers, and we gotta start protecting, man. This it like Charlene was saying earlier, it's a shame. It's a shame that a brother won't take care of his own mother. And she the reason why he's here. It's a shame that a brother won't take care of a female who's spreading his heritage around, you know. And we don't. That's our main job as males. We are here to protect and to build. Why are you not protecting what brought you here? If you don't protect your females and go and mess with all these old alien Becky chicks, your female's gonna be gone. That means that you gonna be gone.
I mean, dude, it's just that fucking simple. Damn. We act like we gotta have some kind of brain meld to understand that.
Right. And we gotta get back in touch with nature too, because we're connected to all of this stuff. All of this stuff. That's why I said at the beginning, hello America. Not just the people, to all indigenous life in America or on America. That's what that means, you know, and see, and that's another example of some of the words that I'm trying to cut out, you know, get out of my vocabulary, or either that, or either know the meaning of them and when to use them, you know. But anyway, I done about said enough. Thank you for letting me be on the show tonight, Carrie. And thanks, Charlene, for coming on with us too. Glad y'all could make it, so I didn't have to talk all the time.
Charlene, you want to say something? You want to end it?
No, it's not about defeating anybody or getting one up on anybody or conquering or none of that. It's about if you live, and it was copper chata. If you live indigenous as a lifestyle, you're out of harm's way. You don't get caught up in the cons. You don't get caught up in the quicksand. You know, you don't get caught up in the snares. You know, you have higher thinking. You know, it's just like something like the spirit to say, don't go down that street or don't walk over on that side or whatever the case is, or don't go in that building, don't go to that nightclub, or don't go hang out on that corner. Then you don't get caught up in the pitfalls that is placed in this society to trap you.
So you're saying living an indigenous lifestyle makes that less likely to happen?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because it's like Ambassador talks a lot about earth consciousness. You know, the principles. You stay within the principles of nature, you're least likely to get caught up in the I'm trying to think of the word, Carrie, to get caught up in the
bullshit.
Trick bag. Trick bag.
All of that. All trick bag, bullshit, dumb shit, stupid shit, nigga shit.
Right.
You know,
Well,
if
Charlene,
everybody
thank
was
you.
busy, like our elders, a lot of our elders stayed busy. They stayed creating something.
Correct.
Yes.
And that's what
Well,
we
Charlene,
need to do. I remember when I was a little girl how uh, everybody in my grandmother's neighborhood, there were stores, uh, uh, gas stations. You had tailors, you had seamstresses, you had people, you had mechanics, you had roofers, you had people that fished, that brought, was selling fish. You had butchers. You had everybody in the community and who lived in the community. They didn't work different jobs and stuff to live in their houses and to live comfortable.
right, right,
So, you know, and their money stayed within their community.
right. See, that's that, and this is what I want to end on, what you just said. When we don't trade our money with each other, we're going to be poor. We're going to be like we have now. We don't give our money to each other. We give our money to foreigners way before they give it to each other. See, that's a problem. And I see we all be trying to go eat. People be taking pictures of their food, plate of food. For real, cuz that's where you at. We'll go eat at some foreign restaurant before we buy a pack of incense from a brother on the street. The majority, I'm not saying all of us do that because all of us don't do that. 95% of us do. We can't do that because you don't see foreigners coming over here homeless like we are homeless on our own land.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in the condition where we're in because how we treat each other. I would suggest we change that paradigm. I'm the indigenous one.
Hey,
Thank
Buck, before you go, I want to say one more thing. About this reparation thing. This is my opinion. When you start accepting reparations, you know everything is an exchange. Everything is, so you're gonna have to give up something in order to get these reparations. That's which like I said, we most of us can't prove it anyway. So most of us are gonna end up not getting them anyway. But when you talk with this reparation thing, you know, we gotta it's not really the best what's best for us. It really is not, because what you're doing is you actually giving up your homeland if you accept these reparations. That's what you're giving up, your homeland. And they can put you, like I say, it's to repair. It means to repair. To me, that means is to put a band-aid on it, not to make sure that that it's returned and rightfully, and that it's not going to happen again. So we gotta look at this thing, you know, and like I said earlier, we gotta start reading these and know what these words mean and read these things. Because like I said, even in the title, it tell you right there that it's fake. And with that, I just want to say good night, America.